The discovery session is a standalone session that helps you create clarity for your life and your business, and it creates a foundation for you so that you really know how to build your life in a strong way. So for example, if you think about a house, if you were going to build a house and you built it on a rather sort of on quicksand or on a rather unstable foundations, then you might start building up the house, but eventually the cracks would appear and your house might start sort of toppling over and problems might happen. So just like that, building a really solid foundation will help give you the confidence and the clarity and the security to build your career and your life in a way that feels really, really rooted. So we look at 3 things in the discovery process. The first thing we look at, which is key to confidence and clarity, is we look at your values. So what we mean by values are the things that light you up, that make you feel alive. So many people might think they know what their values are. You know, my values are honesty and you know, fairness, things like that. But so often I find people are shocked when they come and see me that there are key values that they just don't realise are important to them, and it's exactly the reason why they're feeling unfulfilled. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One guy came to me and his top value was freedom, and yet he had set up a business and run it successfully for years, but he was having to go into this office every single day, manage people, and he just wasn't having any freedom, and he felt absolutely trapped. And when he realised that, he had to make some changes so that he could feel at his best again. Another client, her top value was community, and yet she'd been working for years. She was a designer and she'd been working at home for years on her own, and she just felt really, really isolated. So realising that helped her realise that she needed to be in community or build a community around her. So it's key to your fulfillment, your confidence and your success to know your values. The second thing we look at in the discovery process is what are the skills that you most love to use. So often as creatives we're quite multi-passionate and we like doing lots of different things, and that's where we get a bit confused because often we want to control everything and do everything. So by helping you understand the parts of what you do that you love more than anything, it helps you to really prioritise using those skills more than any other, and to not waste time trying to learn everything. So, for example, my main skill is coaching and speaking. I absolutely love it. And when I first started my business, I tried to do all my own videos, I tried to do my own website, and it was exhausting. And it just took so much from me. And now I just hire people to do all the technical stuff because I know it's not my skill. It's not where my best energy is used. So when you use your skills and make them the focus of what you do, you're just more likely to have more motivation, more energy and more success in life. Then the last part of it, very important part, is goal setting. So in this part of the discovery session, we just really think big, and I ask you to think about your ideal life, your ideal business or career and what that would look like, and we just brainstorm all the possibilities, things that you might have thought about in the back of your mind but never articulated it. And we just think, if anything were possible, where would you live, what would you love to do? And it just makes people so expanded, and it helps people to think of possibilities that they're yearning to do, but they've never dared express it for fear of sounding a bit stupid. Because often people also think they want things that actually wouldn't make them happy. So by coming up with lots and lots of goals, it can help you refine which are the goals you really want. And sometimes it can help you to take risks. So for example, there was one girl I worked with, and she came to me because she wanted to come up with a business as a graphic designer. And one of the things she realised is one of her top values was travel. And she realised that what she'd always craved doing was buying a camper van and travelling around the country. And she imagined this wonderful life where she would draw. She would go around the country and draw places. And she decided to do it. And it was so liberating for her to realise that she could do it. She had that choice. So the other part of goal setting, which I think is really, really useful, is what I find with creative people, and I've done this myself, is they have so many different ideas. They come to me and there's like 5 or 6 different possible massive projects that they'd love to do, and they're overwhelmed because they're trying to do them all at the same time, and they're not moving forward because it's all a bit of a muddle. So what we do is we get clear on the possible projects. But I then create a timeline. So I basically put the timings, like 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, along the floor, and I get them to define which are the most important ones first, and then the ones that are less important, perhaps putting them later on in their life, so that they can just focus on one thing at a time. And the other thing that can happen is there might be a huge project they'd love to do. For example, I had one musician who dreamed of playing the Barbican, and he wasn't even making his own music. So we put playing the Barbican 10 years time, writing his first songs 3 months time. So we just broke it down into smaller chunks, so it didn't feel out of reach anymore. It felt possible if we could just build it in small stages. So it feels achievable when it's in smaller chunks like that. So they're the 3 parts of the discovery process. It's great for a standalone. It gives you clarity, it gives you inspiration and motivation. It's so much fun. And at the end of the session, I will send you a report, a summary of your values, of your timeline, what you say you want to achieve in your life. And it's a wonderful session. So if you'd like to sign up for that, send me a quick message and we can have a chat and get something in the diary.